Welcome to EduSentials, where we don't just revise, we master. Before we start, please shop our AQA A-level English Paris Anthology on or website linked below. Use code LANG10 for 10% of all A-level products. Today, we're looking at a text that seems simple at first, just someone complaining about getting water in Paris. But it's actually really clever. This is from The Sweet Life in Paris by David Lebovitz. He's an American chef who moved to Paris and started writing about everyday life there. So what we get is an outsider's perspective. Funny, honest, and sometimes frustrated. In this session, I'm going to break it down so you understand exactly how it works. From genre all the way to language techniques. So you're ready for the exam. Let's quickly set the scene. This book came from a blog, so it already feels conversational and easy to read. Each chapter follows a pattern: a personal story, a cultural observation, and then a recipe. Our extract starts with a complaint about water and ends with a recipe, which is important because it shows how the text shifts. Overall, this is informal, chatty, and written to entertain, not to lecture. This text mixes genres, and that's key. It's part memoir, part travel writing, part food writing, and then suddenly becomes a recipe. That mix is deliberate. Even though it's written, it sounds like someone talking. You see contractions, exclamations, and direct address. So really, this is written text pretending to be speech. The register is very informal, almost like a conversation. But here's what makes it clever. Lebovitz mixes informal language with very formal words. So you'll get something like a fancy word used to describe something completely trivial. That contrast is where the humour comes from. The audience is mainly American readers, people like him, and the purpose is simple. Entertain first, inform second. This text creates a very specific version of Paris. First, Paris cares more about beauty than practicality. Second, it's full of rules, sometimes ridiculous ones. Third, it can feel quite exclusive or unwelcoming. And finally, it's slightly absurd, especially from an outsider's perspective. The key idea is this: Paris is both amazing and confusing at the same time. Let's look at word choice. Lebovitz uses French words throughout. This is called code switching. It makes the text feel authentic, but it's also funny, especially when the words are overly specific. He also mixes very formal language with slang. That clash, formal versus casual, is what creates the humour. Now grammar. There's a section where he bombards the reader with questions. This puts you in the situation, like you're the one ordering. He also uses you a lot, which makes it feel direct and personal. And he uses short, broken sentences, just like speech. So again, it's written text designed to feel spoken. Looking at structure now. The title references the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, but twists it for humour. The text is built through stories rather than facts. And the biggest shift is at the end, when it suddenly becomes a recipe. That change in style is really important. It shows genre blending. This is where the real skill comes in: pragmatics. Most of the humour isn't said directly, it's implied. For example, he exaggerates massively about being thirsty. He also uses phrases like, or so they say, to show doubt without saying it directly. And rhetorical questions pull the reader in and make them part of the joke. The key phrase to remember here is, the reader infers meaning. Sound matters too. Words like yuck feel spoken. Repetition and rhythm make the writing almost performative, like stand-up comedy. Even the brand names create a kind of rhythm. All of this helps bring the text to life. If you remember anything, remember these 6 things: code switching, direct address, exaggerated stories, cultural contrasts, formal versus informal language, and the recipe ending. If you can spot and explain these, you're in a strong position. Now we test your understanding. You'll get a few multiple-choice questions. Take a moment to think before answering, because the wrong answers are designed to catch you out. Question 1. How do the French words work in this text? Words like calcaire,
le mur anti-pipi, un pas joli.
Pause. Have a think. The correct answer is C. They do two things at once. They make the text feel authentic, because it's real French language. But they're also funny, especially when the words are overly specific or sound strange to an English reader. That contrast creates humour. Question 2. What is the effect of the phrase, "or so they say"? Pause. The correct answer is B. This phrase creates distance. It suggests doubt, without saying it directly. So instead of clearly saying he doesn't trust the water, he lets the reader infer that. That's what makes it effective. Question 3. What makes this text feel so conversational? Pause. The answer is C. It's the use of you, contractions like your and don't, and short broken sentences like yuck or but wait. All of these features make it feel like someone is speaking directly to you. Question 4. Why is the recipe at the end so important? Pause. The answer is C. Because the text suddenly changes. It moves from storytelling to instructions, from past tense to commands. That shift shows genre mixing, which is a key feature of this text. Final question. How is Paris presented in this extract? Pause. The answer is B. Paris is shown as both amazing and confusing. Lebovitz clearly loves it, but at the same time, he finds it frustrating and strange. That balance is at the heart of the text. Here are the answers. If you got most of them right, you're on track. If not, go back and focus on the techniques. This isn't about memorizing, it's about recognizing patterns quickly. Let's finish with 3 key habits. Quote precisely. Name the technique. Explain the effect. Do that consistently, and you'll do well.
Santé.